Yo, we are back, baby, with another 30 Jobs Later. I'm your host, Corey Rodrigues. I'm Orlando Baxter. And I'm Trisha. Neither Trisha or Orlando are here again. I'm sitting here with another very special guest, my dude, very, very funny comedian, Mr. Jason Cordova.
I almost forgot my name.
I was about to say.
We also doing a crosscast.
Yeah, we're doing a cross podcast right now.
Jason Cordova, Talk podcast we do for GP. Definitely ain't PC. You don't like to suck my wee wee. That's my whole intro. I know that's a little harsh for Corey, but you know how I talk, bro. It's no.
Hey, it ain't too harsh for me, man. Shit, I talk like this. You talk with the wee wees and the PPs. I'm cool. I'm cool with all that shit. I'm cool.
Not too cool.
No, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Good,
what did you say? You said I'm here with the wee wees.
I'm here with no wee wees. I said podcast we do for GP. Definitely not PC. You don't like it, suck my wee wee.
Oh, okay. I'm cool with all that shit. I like that.
yeah.
Shit,
your wings is here.
PC. Yep. So the wings came. Thank you very much, sir.
All right,
man. Don't put them all in front of the wrong guy. So we're sitting here right now. We're having a little bit of chicken wings, man. While we're at the, we were
Lincoln
tonight. I was at Capo in South Boston, and Jason was at
McGreevy's. McGreevy's is popping.
You said McGreevy's was popping tonight, and that's one of the spots where we go
work shit out. Yeah,
work out some jokes and stuff. And that's where I was at with Brian from the last podcast. Brian Higginbottom. He's the one who runs that room. So just working around the different clubs and the different shows in Boston and stuff like that, man. It's a good time. Just being able to work your jokes out, get in there.
Yeah, especially in quality rooms, because there's a lot of rooms that suck, and then you still got to like try to work shit out. You know, the crowd maybe not be involved, and you know how it is when you got that like joke in your head that you at least a decent crowd to be like to get the right gauge.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to lose confidence in the joke too quick.
Right.
You know, so that's why I like that room. I like fucking with McGreevy's.
Well, McGreevy's, yeah, because there's a good amount of people in there.
Exactly.
And he has a good amount of people that speak English, because we were joking last week saying that his room used to be like more people from the hostel would come into the room. So it was a lot of people who didn't speak English.
Yeah, McGreevy's got I don't know if and then some people McGreevy's got a vault feel to it.
Yeah.
It got a real vault feel to it.
And a vault feel, what he's talking about is there used to be this place called the Comedy Vault, which was Dick Doherty's Comedy Vault, which was owned property by Emerson College. And so it was right in the alley of Boston, which is near Boston Common.
Literally was in the alley.
Huh?
Literally
was in the alley, and it was the shit. That's where a lot of the comics you know that ever have came out of Boston, a lot of them have come through this club.
Cut through the teeth.
You know, anyone from Robert Kelly to Dane Cook to Bill Burr to Gary Goldman, Bobcat Goldthwait, Lenny Clark, any of these guys, they all have been down at Dick Doherty's Comedy Vault back in the day. This was the hot spot to be. Yeah. And it was almost a similar vibe to the Comedy Cellar in New York. Yeah. If you think about the look and the size of it. Yeah. Now, as far as the quality of talent that was in there on night in and night out, I won't say it was equivalent to what the Comedy Cellar was. Yeah. But if we had that shit now, it would be the equivalent of what the Comedy Cellar was. It would be totally different.
Yeah, when that shit left, that shit hurt my heart, bro.
Because we used to...
That was 7 days a week.
That was 7 days a week.
And it was a straight comedy club. It wasn't comedy, all right, now 10 o'clock, get out of here.
We're going to dance.
It's like, yo, that shit was straight comedy.
It was good.
That's how I met like most of y'all. Like most comics, it was through the Comedy Vault. And the thing I liked about the Comedy Vault was they had that, I talked about this before, like they had that natural comedic ecosystem.
Yeah.
Shitty comics didn't really, a lot of shitty comics that came there, they didn't come there too often because there was too many good comics up there. And if you was shitty, and because a lot of the lineups were so stacked a lot of times, that you was taking away time from a real comic. So if you wasn't bringing it, like you kind of, like you can feel the energy when you bomb. Like you niggas like, yo, like you wasting time up there, bro. You know what I mean? Like I've seen
you might not get back.
Yeah. I seen remember Mitch Stinson?
Yeah.
That was my dude, dog.
Yeah.
I miss that dude. I wish I saw him more often.
Great.
I've seen him tell comics you suck. I saw him call Don Zolo asshole on stage one time.
Wow.
You know what happened? It was Mitch Stinson's last show. So he was letting everybody rock out that night.
So Mitch Stinson was a Navy pilot. Used to be a Navy pilot, right?
He was a Maine. Yeah, he was like a legit, like a
funny
that dude.
dude.
Was hilarious.
One of the nicest, sweetest guys you ever meet. And I don't mean sweet like that. I mean just a good person.
Yeah,
somebody you want around you, like a good soul. You know what I mean? Like he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Never. Like it's hard to even find that dude say something bad about somebody.
Right,
you know what I mean? When he's talking.
Right.
It's a good dude.
Yeah.
You know?
And what happened was it was his last show. He was letting everybody rock who came through. Like everybody get 5 minutes at least, 5 to 7, whatever. Zolo goes up there. In true Zolo fashion, he does like 20 something minutes.
He burned the clock.
Yo, burned it. He threw that shit out the window, bro. And then Stinson, and he still did it in a Stinson way. He didn't flip on him. He was like, yo, that was a real dick move you did there. That's all he said to Zolo. I was like, damn, Zolo, you kind of forced it. And that's when I was working the door. Remember you working the door?
Oh yeah, you worked the door. They said you have to go. That's the progression, the natural progression of sometimes working at a comedy club is you work the door and you're trying to work your way in. And also I just want to say, because Zolo may hear this later, I'm not shitting on you, Zolo.
We ain't shitting on you, I'm just telling the story.
He's just telling the story
That's
of what
journalism.
happened.
I'm just telling the facts.
Jay said he keep it raw. He's just saying what happened.
Yeah, that's just what happened. I'm not pro or con with the situation. I'm just saying what the fuck happened.
Yeah, but that's cool, man. And the natural progression for a lot of people is to go into the comedy club, start at the door.
Right.
Sometimes you're even a doorman, but sometimes you're a comic and you just end up working for the booker, the person who books the room.
Right.
And they'll ask you to control the money that's coming in and out of the room for a period of time while they give you stage time.
Right.
And so you earn your
stage
you don't
time.
even earn money.
Right.
You earn stage time by working for the said person.
Right. It's like an internship.
Exactly. But some people don't know how to take that and take advantage of that and get good while they're doing it. Some people get comfortable and they get look, here's what's fucked up. I've seen people get really, 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 really good at doing the door and not get better at stand-up.
Yeah, I've seen that plenty of times.
So then eventually they ask, here's what happens every time.
Yeah.
Eventually, that person who's never gotten good at stand-up but's gotten good at running the door
game's crazy.
The door game is crazy. They know tickets for tickets. Like, I can squeeze another chair in back here. I got your corner back here. Right. They're really good at seating people, setting up the door, maintaining the money, all of that stuff with the room. Make sure everybody's happy. What happens is that person still wants to be a comic.
Right.
So eventually they go back and talk to the person that they're working for and they say, hey, I want to do more time on the shows.
Right.
And they're like, I don't want to be stuck doing the door all the time. I want to do more shows.
Right.
And if your comedy hasn't elevated, they're like, well,
they're going to give you some bullshit.
we can't use you anymore.
Right.
So you might as well bounce.
Well, the thing about comedy, and you hear this a lot now, is with the attack on comedy, is like it's so honest in the sense that there's no hiding how funny you are.
Yeah.
I could play a song for you, bro. If I play that song to you 50 times, you might start liking that song.
Yeah.
But comedy don't work like that.
Right.
It don't work like that. It ain't like, if somebody sees you you ain't that good, they're not gonna just see your act 50 times and think you're good. They just ain't that.
Right. If you don't get better.
Right. If you don't get funny. Right.
For sure. Yo, you went through a crazy phase though, man. Like I've seen you really elevate, bro. From where you were, growing out of the stages that you were in. Because like let's backtrack for a second.
Yeah.
How many years in are you right now?
Like 9, 10.
You're 9-10 years in right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're 9-10 years into the game right now. And before we move forward, what did you do before? Because 30 jobs later, we talk about the jobs that you did before you did this.
My first job or all my jobs?
No. Your job before, right before stand up, and then what you actively do when you do stand up, or what you did.
You know what? I was a security guard right before stand up.
Yeah.
What was I working at? Lowe's. I might have been security. You know what? I was working security.
And you started getting into stand-up?
What happened was I worked security. I was working security for my boy. my boy got me the job, and we got fired because we was just being niggas.
What kind of security were you doing?
I was doing overnight security at a private school that my aunt worked at.
Okay.
Yeah. So
overnight security at a private school.
So
why did they have people living on campus?
Yeah, they had students was living on campus and the teachers lived on campus.
So you were like campus police.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was.
Okay.
Just no gun or no protection.
Right.
So I was working that, and then what happened was, I had found out that my girl at the time was pregnant. Yep. And I secretly was writing jokes in high school because I knew I was at least gonna try stand up. I knew at some point I was at least gonna try it. You know what I mean? So I was doing that. And
what made you know you were at least gonna try it though?
But the thing about me is, like, I always loved stand up. I used to love watching stand up more than I like watching funny movies.
Who?
Me.
Who'd you like watching?
I used to watch all that BET shit.
Yep.
I remember watching Eddie Murphy. I remember when I was little, I used to watch a lot of comedy, but I remember watching like, I wasn't allowed in the room, but I remember sneaking watching Martin, You So Crazy.
Yep.
I remember like my mom, my aunt watching, they was laughing their ass off, and I remember seeing Martin. Like, I think You So Crazy is one of the underrated specials.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
You So Crazy with Martin is funny than a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Run Tell That broke my heart. When I watch Run Tell That, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
What is this shit?
And the shit he put out after that most recent one.
I don't even know what the most recent one was. But I'm just saying, You So Crazy.
You So Crazy was
really good.
That's a masterpiece.
And then when you watch Run Tell That, I remember sitting there one day watching. I haven't watched it in years.
Yeah, you don't want to watch it again.
Like, it was one of those things. Like, his tape. His VHS at the time was one of the VHSs that I collected. Some people listen don't know what a VHS is.
Yeah.
But it's just a big ass tape that you can watch it on. Anyways, put it in the VCR. So I had Run Tell That. I had You So Crazy. I used to have mad shit.
Yeah.
Because that's what I used to do when I first got in to stand up. When I first knew I was interested in stand up, I would watch everybody's videos and it would fuck me up because I would watch Martin, I would watch Margaret Cho, I would watch Ellen DeGeneres, I would watch Jerry Seinfeld. I would watch everybody, right? The one thing I will say, before I talk more about Martin, that would fuck me up, is when I would watch it, I would always be like, man, I'd watch how these people came on stage. And they'd always come on stage and be like, what's up, Cleveland? Yo, what's up, Boston? What's going on, San Diego?
That classic rock star shit.
Yeah, that classic rock star. You walk off the crowd like, woo. They're in some arena. And I was like, fuck, man, none of this tapes pertain to how it's going to be when you just walk into a room and there's 34 people in that fucking room.
It's not the
you
same
can't
thing.
walk in that room like, what's up, Boston? I was like, how do you do this shit?
Right.
I used to be so... Like, that used to blow my mind.
Right.
Like, I used to be like, how... And I got fixated on, like, how do you open? Like, what the fuck do you do? What do you even start with?
Right.
How do you start?
Right.
Because none of these people show you how to start.
Right.
Because, you're learning when you first start. I'm like, how the fuck do you start? And all these specials, I'm like, nobody just comes out normal.
But what's fucking crazy about watching those tapes is that it gives you an unrealistic view of comedy.
Hell yeah.
Because you're seeing a finished product.
Yeah.
It'll be like if you wanted to learn how to make a cake and somebody just hands you a cake. That's how you make a cake. You're like, what the fuck? They're like, that's exactly what it is.
They'd be like, taste this. Right. You'd be like, but how did you make
That's
it?
How you make it right there.
How you make it? Taste this. You'd be like, what do you mean taste this?
Right.
How did you make it?
Right.
Yo, that's the fucking shit. That is the truth. That's exactly the truth, dog. That's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
And so I would watch that and I would be all messed up. And it took a long time to get comfortable just opening. Mm-hmm. I just tried all different stuff. I mean, I'm sure I've said this at some other point, but I just tried all different stuff. Yeah. I used to walk on stage and not say anything. Right. Or just be quiet. I experimented with so many different ways of like, just open. How am I going to get comfortable enough to open this fucking show? Right. So I would just not say nothing. I would walk out and be quiet. Sometimes people would start cracking up. Right. Sometimes they would be like, hey, come on, man, what's up? What the fuck? Right. Sometimes they'd be like, everything goes okay, you got it. I hate that. Yeah. I hate that pity shit. Yeah, because they didn't know. They don't know what to do. I did a show, oh man, like, I want to say a couple months ago.
It was like a hood show. It was at the Dub. You know the Dub? Dublin?
Yeah, the
in
Dublin
Boston?
House. Yeah.
Hood ass show, right? So the Dublin setup, it's not set up for comedy. It was like, you know how like you do those shows where somebody's throwing on, I'm using air quotes, a comedy show.
Yeah.
They think you just put a comic there and then everything else just...
You standing on the floor and shit. You the same height as everybody.
I'm standing on the floor. There's mad chairs. And the thing about it, it's like, I say about 20 to 30 yards of just people in the back. But they can't hear you, so they're talking, they're loud, they're eating chicken, like they're just bugging out. And I'm trying to control them, but like the mic isn't even loud enough to even get to the back. And then these freaking, you know, if you lose black women, it's over.
It's over.
That is the worst person.
Oh my God.
Yo, these black women are just ripping into me, bro. They won't shut up, and you can't say nothing back to them because that's their playing field is confrontation.
Oh my God.
Like,
You're
right.
They're like, that's not even true. That didn't happen.
Right.
You're like, yes, it did happen.
She's like,
that didn't happen.
She's like, control your crowd. I was like, bitch, nobody can control this fucking crowd right now. Like, I'm just there's some comedy shows you do where your job is to just be on stage for a certain amount of time and leave, which is with your ego crush.
Yep.
That's your job.
Yep.
Like, you're not here like, and then it takes you actually, I call it your comedy ego, to get humbled sometimes with that, because when you're younger in the game, you think I'm gonna do my material, but when you lose, you just gotta try to do some crowd work maybe, and then just get through it.
You need to motherfucking survive.
Right.
There are times when you're on a stage and you're treading water.
Right.
And there's times when you're treading, there's something under you pulling you a little bit. You're like, oh,
sharks
shit.
are just circling.
Right. You just trying to paddle.
You gotta wait there for the chopper to get there. You just gotta wait till the chopper.
Yo, this is crazy.
Yo.
You're like, yo, I'm sinking right now.
Right.
You're just treading water.
Right.
I mean, that's what it is sometimes.
Yeah, man. And that's just comedy, but it's one of the things that I'm glad I got into. You know what I mean? If not one of the top things I'm glad I got into. Because like I still remember my first show with Jim Lauletta was hosting.
Yep.
And me and Andy Dawson started on the same day.
Oh, that's funny.
The same exact day.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I always remember that.
Andy Dawson's another comedian from Boston. He works the door too.
Yeah, he's a door legend.
Working the door. Yeah,
he's a door legend.
So you were back. You were working a security job.
Yeah.
You were watching stand up, and you knew in high school you were watching like BET.
Yeah, I was watching everything.
You were watching all these comics. But now let me ask you.
And then
did
you know what
feel?
It was? At the end of, I never had cable until my senior year in high school. So that was like, I was ODing on Comedy Central.
So that's what I wanted to ask you. Now, because BET had Comic View.
Yeah.
Now, what did you feel like the comedy on Comedy Central was? Because I'm talking about back in the day comedy on Comedy Central.
Yeah. So
what did you feel like?
This is what it was. So when I watched BT, I didn't even get to watch BT. My cousin used to tape it. I mean, you could tape stuff. And she would have the tapes. And I was watching it. I felt like I was watching it because I never had cable until my senior year in high school.
Okay.
So I was watching the tapes. And then when I watched Comedy Central, you know who freaking like blew my mind comedically? Brian Regan.
Yeah.
When I saw his 30 minutes on, I was like, yo, this dude is like hilarious. And he ain't talking no nigga shit. He ain't talking. I'm
talking crazy at all.
I'm like, yo, this dude is just like talking some just funny. And that's actually why, like, I mean, I talk my ignorant shit, but that's why I add finesse to my shit. Because I could just go there and just talk ignorant, you know what I mean? And that's what with me is like, I keep that balance between ignorance and finesse, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's what made me want to, like, that's how to really, like, looking into comedy, like, yo, this is like a whole, like, there's some funny people out here, you know what I mean? And they're just like,
that's dope.
On some shit.
I love that you discovered that. You discovered that much earlier. You had a respect for Comedy Central much earlier than me. Yeah. I remember I would watch BET. You know, I seen Def Comedy Jam. I would watch BET and shit like that. And I was like, yo, this shit right here is speaking to me.
You're laughing. Right.
When I would flip to Comedy Central, I'd be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Right.
Like, people would be laughing at jokes that I was like, I don't even understand this joke.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
What are they talking about?
Right.
They'd be like, it's raining cats and dogs. Like, it would just be somebody on there, like, and I was like, I don't even understand this. It took me to get into comedy
to understand.
To then, like, slow down and like be like, oh, this shit is funny. This shit is well crafted right here. This is really funny. But before that, all it sounded like to me was
jibber jabber.
Jibber jabber. I imagine what it sounds like to somebody much older listening to rap.
Right.
You know, you ever a grandmother or something listen to rap. What is all that jigger noise? What's all that noise?
To me now.
Right?
Yeah.
When they get mad in their head, they just like it sounds like noise. When I would listen to comedy on Comedy Central when I was a young, like before I was a comedian, bro, it only. All I would hear, I would be like, why are they laughing? I would be so mad at the people.
Yeah, like they're
laughing at. Who are they talking to when they say this shit?
Right.
And then once I understood jokes, once I got into stand-up, it was like, I imagine other artists like that are like painters and stuff.
Right.
I feel like they must get like that. I feel like they don't all just look at some abstract art and be like, it's beautiful. Right. And then once they understand it, like you know what it took to put this bottle, this bent over bottle that looks like a Good Times person. You know what it took to place this on this playground in the grass with the blades looking so crisp.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But like before you know that, you just be like, what is this bullshit?
And that's what it was with me with comedy too. I was going to comedy shows on like just going, not even performing, just watching shows. I remember I went to Dick's like a couple of times in a row. And then Kathy walked up to me. She noticed I had went there like 3 weeks in a row. She's like, "Do you want to try that?" I was like, "I'm thinking about it." And then what I would do, because I was so pussy, right? I would call and be like, "Do y'all got?" Remember, open mic was Sundays.
Yeah.
I was like, "Y'all got open mic? Y'all got any room for Sunday?" She's like, "Yeah, we got spots. Why you want one?" No. I was just checking. And then one day I just like mustered it up, and I was like,
"It's scary. Go. It's scary."
Right. And I said, the letter was the host. And Andy, we sat, and I actually did good my first time. But you know what actually was a blessing and weird at the same time was the first comedy show I ever went to was at Limelight. Remember, Limelight Studio?
Limelight Studio.
And funny, the dude running the door was my old math teacher.
Oh shit.
But the thing about it was the comics on the stage were garbage that night. All of them, every single one. I was like, I could do this. I was like, I could do at least better than that.
Yeah.
I can at least do better than that. So I was like, all right. So that took a little bit of the fear out of me, because I'm like, these dudes, because you don't know shit. You thinking these are like professional comics. Those might have just been open micers, just like I was open mic. But you're thinking like these are the dudes who do this for real. And then I did it. I did pretty good. Jim Laletta thought I had did it before, because I did pretty good my first time, and I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do.
I can do it. I can do it. Yeah.
I was like, all right, this is the path I'm gonna take. You know what I mean?
That's funny, man. I mean, yeah, you get that weird, you get that weird thing up front where you get so nervous, that you're like, I don't know if I can do this shit. Right. Because it was like that I went and watched a few weeks. I went and watched, and then eventually I went and watched like 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. Yeah. And then I was just like, all right, man, I'm gonna try. I went and watched Orlando. I went and watched Sean Beckgood.
Orlando started before you?
Orlando started before me. Yeah. Orlando with Sean Beckgood.
Sean, my dude, I was talking the other day.
Yeah.
That was a beast too.
Yeah, man.
He don't do stand up no more, right?
Not as much. Yeah. But he's still gonna be messing with it, but his acting is going crazy right now. Yeah. So those three dudes, Edward Dominguez, Sean Beckgood, Orlando Baxter. Those three cats, I used to go watch them at this place called Ups and Downs, like
I heard about
the
that
Pony Room.
Yeah.
And it was rough. It was a rough room. But I would just go watch.
Right.
I watched a couple times. So I came like 2-3 weeks or whatever. And eventually they were like, "Yo, what's up? You getting up?" Because it was so small that the dude hosting the show used to be like, "Hey man, you getting up or what, man? Come on up there. It's a safe room. It's good. It's good."
Yeah, right.
And then eventually I did it, man. I was like, this is crazy. I got up there, like Orlando opened my notebook, and he just took it and he started like scribbling through my notebook. You don't need none of this shit. You got mad extra shit here. But I didn't know. I had never written a joke. Right. I just trusted what he was saying. Like, you should just say the funny stuff.
Right. You don't need
I thought all of it was funny shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I remember I used to write jokes when I first started. I used to write this shit like a fucking monologue.
That's what I did too.
Like
I had
whole thing.
I had everything. I had ands and does. Everything.
I used to write that whole shit out there. And it's like, it's so crazy with me with comedy. It's just like, I seen the weirdest shit, right? My cousin, I think he's trying to get into comedy or something. Mm-hmm. This dude, and this is like, it's weird to me, he posted his set list on Instagram. I was like, bro, that's a sacred thing, bro. Yeah. I would never in a million years post my set list, bro. And then it's just like, You know when people do it, and this is pretty much what Instagram is, when they try to act like they're not doing it for attention, but they're doing it clearly for attention.
Right.
It was just weird, and I was just like, whatever. If that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. But you set yourself up to get your feelings hurt because it's not what you think it is. And and the big mistake that every new comic always makes, you think everything you think is funny.
Yeah.
And you think everything that you laughed at is funny. You think everything that somebody you laughed at with you while you were smoking blunts is funny on stage. And there's a certain thing between being funny. Being funny, like this is what I always say about comedy. Yeah. You have to be funny to be a comedian, but just because you're funny doesn't make you a comedian.
Facts.
That's what it is.
You have to be able to facilitate that funny to everybody else.
Because people don't understand, like, when you're talking to, like, your boy and you're laughing, there's a lot of things that are already understood that you don't have to explain. He knows your sense of humor. He knows what you're talking about. Y'all talking about something y'all been talking about before.
Yeah.
When you're on stage, it's literally, you got these people, you got your allotted amount of time, you have to bring them into your world in that lot of time, and then still make that funny, and then you got to walk off and do your bow and then get the fuck off stage.
Yes, facts. That's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. And if you can't bring them into your world fast enough and clear enough, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're done.
Because they're like, that's when you end up saying stuff like, "Oh, you had to be there."
Yeah.
Well, it would have been funny if you seen it. Right. You guys don't even know. It's like, nah, we don't know.
Right, that's the point.
We don't know.
That's the problem right now.
That was your job.
Right. And that's just like what people don't understand is like, what comedy is just when you do it, you got such a respect for it.
Yeah.
This is why, like, when you see somebody who is really good at it, you be like, yo, this dude, he put in work. Like,
you can tell.
He make it look so easy. That's why how good he is. That,
you can tell.
Yeah, it's just like, yo, this dude is nice.
You can tell.
He be on stage a lot.
You can't fake fucking comedy.
You can't.
I don't care what you do. It's the one shit. It's the closest shit I feel like to boxing. It's one of the closest things to boxing.
It's funny. I always equated comedy to boxing in my head.
Yeah, you can read all the fighting books, all the boxing books you want to read.
Yeah.
Till you get in that fucking ring, and you gotta tangle.
Right.
You getting hit, and you gotta hit back, and you gotta have stamina. And you gotta be able to block.
Right. While you're tired.
Yeah. Until you can do that, and you gotta get hit with stuff that you weren't expecting.
Right.
The mic might go out.
Right.
It might fall out of the thing.
Yo, bro.
Anything might happen, dog. Somebody might faint. You gotta control that fucking room.
I don't know if you remember. This is very obscure and random. You put me on my first college show.
Okay.
It was me, you, Will Noonan, and somebody else. All I remember is my boy's sister drove me out to the college. I can't remember. It wasn't too far, but it wasn't close either. And I remember the mic cut out. In a big ass auditorium, I had to do my whole set with no mic.
Oh, shit.
This is years ago, bro. I was like mad young, and I was like kind of too young to handle it. You know what I mean? Like it was a big thing for me. That's why I still remember it because it was at the time. It was like it was death. Like
shit.
Because you know how like with jokes, even when talking, like you have to have tone, and some things are funny because of the way if you're just yelling, nothing's gonna just be funny unless I'm Sam Kinison or something like that. You know, my style ain't yelling. You know, so that was a rough one, bro. That was a rough one.
I've seen comics shudder, like in their boots, if something happens like that, like if the microphone goes out, or if whatever. Like I've seen them
like break down,
so married to the microphone. I filmed some stuff on TV where like they're like, hey, the mic doesn't work, so you can go hands free. But if you're more comfortable holding the mic, you still can. But the mic's not gonna be on. We got you mic'd up for your shirt. The mic's off. And they'll be like, give me the mic. As long as they need the mic. They want to hold the mic so they can, that's their baby. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny.
Damn.
Because you're so naked as a comedian. You're so naked. You're like, that's my... I've been there. I'm like, no, give me the mic. This one time, I was like, no, give me the mic.
I probably would still use the mic. It's just part of me. You know? Because you don't know what to do with your other hand. That's a whole different thing.
Now people are clowning you. You feeling like they're clowning because the comedian's always thinking what you would say. You thinking what you would say to somebody. You're like, this motational speaking ass. Look at this fucking dude.
Thomas ass dude.
Yeah, right? If Tony Robbins don't sit his punk ass down right here. This fucking, this life coach ass motherfucker, you know, that's all you're doing is making fun of it. So then when you're doing it yourself, that's already in your head and you're just laughing to yourself like, damn, dog, I look like this.
And it's like, And you know what helped me was like I got out of my ego about it when I do shows of people who don't understand comedy. Because when you're young, you're like, you're supposed to know this, man. You gotta give me the mic, you gotta give me the light.
Yeah.
And it's like, these people don't know shit. You know what I mean? They just said, just put on a show, let's get a comedian. Yeah. And I got out of my head about that. Because I remember one time I was doing like some cable access show.
Yep.
And they was like, yeah, just go do your jokes. I said, what? Like, I'm no audience. I'm just looking into a big ass camera the size of your head, and I'm just telling jokes.
Oh, get the fuck
That
out.
was like the whole show. I was like, this is brutal, man. You can put it, but all that shit makes you better.
It does, because you get through all those different situations. But now, yo, when you said you knew in high school that you wanted to do this shit, how did you know so early? Like, what were you feeling? Like, what made you know that so early?
I don't know. Like, I was just like,
what made you be like? You were already writing jokes, and
terrible jokes.
Do you use any of those jokes now?
Oh no.
Have you?
Absolutely not.
Can you remember any of them?
Not verbatim. I remember I had this stupid joke about Ben Wallace because that's when, like, at the time Ben Wallace was the dude
on the Pistons.
Yeah, it was just like a terrible joke because my boy, I told him I want to do comedy. He's like, all right, let's see what you got. He's one of them dudes. Let's see what you got. Yeah. And I told the joke, and I knew he wasn't feeling it, but he's my friend, so he didn't want to completely drive it into me that it was trash. But I was just like, it was just garbage, bro. Yeah. But I just knew like I wanted to like just, I don't know. I always been like a funny dude. I always been the funniest dude in my friends.
So when you're with your friends, this is something I was talking to Brian about. Yeah. When you're with your friends, is that how they kind of held you? Like you were the funny one. Like Jason's the funny one.
Yeah.
Like you're the one who's gonna have everybody laughing and shit.
Yeah, because I say whatever. You know what? My family's mad funny, bro. Yeah. My family is mad funny, and they're mad. Like you know how I don't have a filter. Yeah. That's how. Imagine a whole family like that. Like yo, with my family, if you get roasted by the family, you gonna cry. Like when I was a kid, I've seen every kid in my family cry. I have like every single one. Like because they're just mean and brutal. But it's funny to everybody else except for the person whose turn it is.
Getting roasted.
And my mom used to have a saying. She said it's like if you're getting roasted, she just said it's your turn. That was her console. It wasn't you're not fat. She's like it's just your turn. That's just what it is, dog.
There's something to be said about that though. That makes you tough as shit.
Yeah, like a skin's thick, bro. Like I always say, like, and the thing about it, like my uncle when I was younger, he was mad mean. He was a mean dude, and he would just say mean things you're not supposed to say to a kid, right? Because he was just an asshole. And then that's why I was telling my sister this, like, yo, nobody can really hurt my feelings anymore. Yeah. Like, it'll be real hard to, like, really hurt my feelings. Like, I'd be like, damn, man, I was fucked up. But, like, it just mean, like, my skin's just thick like that. Yeah. It's just thick.
You was brought up like that.
Yeah, it's just like that. No, it's just whatever. Okay. What else you got?
That's funny. Will you bring your son up that way? Have you? Or are you a little bit more lenient, honestly?
I tell my son, like, don't be soft. Like, he says that. He actually said that today. We was talking about something. We was talking about some kid today. Oh, he's like, yo, Dad, I was watching, he said he was watching TV. Yeah. And there was he's like, the fattest 10-year-old is 400 pounds. Because he was watching YouTube or something. Yeah. And then I was like, dang, that's crazy. And he was like, yeah, because they're too soft on him. He said that to me. He said parents are too soft on him. He said that. I was like, dang, that's crazy. That he already knows that, though. Because that is what it is. Because 400 pounds, you're soft on your kid. Right. He's not, a military dad's not living in the house. No. It was just like,
he's getting access to food.
Right, yeah.
That's an old Bill Burr joke. Yeah. He's like, if you have fat kids, he's like, it's your fault. Yeah. He's like, if you have a 7-year-old that's fat, that's your fault. Yeah. It's like, they don't have money. Right. He's like, you're feeding them. You're feeding these motherfuckers.
It's funny when I see people whose kids are like super fat or just out of control.
Yeah.
As a parent, because I'm a parent,
Yeah.
I'm like, where did you lose complete control of a kid?
And why did you stop caring?
Right. Well, you just said this is like just hope for the best.
Like, why did you stop caring?
Right.
They can't eat everything without you.
Right.
A lot of their meals are coming from you.
If all of them,
Shit. You know, I mean, they go to school.
Right.
So they're gonna get what they get at school.
Right. That's
but
one meal.
That's one of them.
Right.
Jeez.
It's just like, yo, we only got salad today. What else? What you gonna say?
Yo.
We only got salad.
That's just crazy. But I mean, I know I would imagine there's a lot of people out there that would have a lot to say. Oh, well, let my kid do whatever. But it's just like, sometimes I look at it.
You're not helping your kids by doing that.
Yeah, I see some of my people on Instagram and Facebook. I see their kids, and I'm just like, damn, though. Like, you just, you know, I feel bad. I feel bad for the kid.
Yeah, that's
because
what you really feel.
the kid doesn't know any better. Like you know,
kids are like, I think kids are, and it's probably the best word. Kids are just like, they're just primitive animals. They only do what kids do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't have up to a certain age. They don't have like reason until a reasonable.
Which is why they need somebody to fucking
to
guide
tell them like no.
Yeah, like baby orca whales.
Right.
Baby killer whales watch their parents hunt in packs. They watch how they survive. They watch who they do. They watch what techniques they use to stay alive.
Right.
So they can live.
Right.
Right? Little human babies, they watch. They do the same shit.
Right.
They watch their mommies and daddies. They see what they do, and we teach them. We actively teach them. We're showing them these things. Because some people are like, let them choose. It's like,
they don't know what
let
to
somebody
choose.
make a lot of choices that has shit in their ass. They doesn't know how to wipe their own ass.
Right.
They don't know yet. They're trying to have these things, and I'm not saying you restrict somebody. But sometimes you do need to restrict them. They need to know what the fuck it is.
There's obvious boundaries that need to be set. That's just what it is. That's why the best way I go. There's obvious boundaries that need to be set.
There's boundaries that need to be set when they have access to things that are not good for them.
Right.
So if you're gonna open up, if you say they know when they're full, and you just let them have access to your snack drawer. Right. And they just in there eating all the fucking cupcakes and all the whatever they want to eat all day.
But when they say that, they act like when they say, I'm gonna use that example, right? When you say they know they full.
Yeah.
When you are eating like that much, it's not about being full.
Yeah.
It's about, I like the way this tastes and I want to get as much of it while there's some in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not about giving yourself enough nutrition for the day. It's about, I like fucking what Skittles taste like.
Right.
I'm gonna eat every Skittle till there's none in the house anymore. It's not like I hate when people try to rationalize something that isn't rational.
Right.
That shit always pisses me off. Like, stop acting like this is a normal thing. This isn't normal.
This isn't normal. Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. That shit, it's annoying because you gotta you know, someone will really defend that. They'll really defend that cause. They know what's up. They know. It's the same way I feel. Like, I don't like when people try to give my they'll try to feed your kids if you don't learn. They're like, give them some more ice cream, give them some more candy or whatever. It's like, they don't need it. You act like they're like being deprived from this shit.
Right.
When they want a treat, they'll get a treat. They'll get some shit. But it's not like every night there's some shit they should get or every other thing. And they don't need to have, like, my little dudes, like, I don't give them, like, if they're eating cake or whatever and we're at somebody's party, I swipe off some of that frosting. I just do. That's just me.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be everybody.
I always hated birthday cake.
What I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? But it's just like, it's too much. Yeah. Like, why do I have to?
Because I'm gonna have to deal with this kid later.
Yeah, and you have to deal with his guts later, his insides later.
Right.
Like, why do I have to load him up with that for you to feel happy about it?
Right.
Because people will be like, let him have it. Don't deprive him. He's not fucking deprived. He's happy to scrape that shit off. I'm still giving him some.
Right. So
I'm just not giving him 4 inches of frosting.
Right.
I'm giving him an inch of frosting.
Because I know what it does.
I know what it does. It's not good for you. It's bad for your teeth. It's bad for your insides. It's bad for everything. I'm already giving you a bunch of it.
You're eating cake. What else you want from me?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. But people will act like you're fucking everything up. Like, people act like they have to feed your kids like they feed your dog. When you tell somebody don't feed your dog, or don't feed the dog, people will be under the table like, he's a hungry boy. He's hungry. They'll still be fucking giving the dog food under the table. The person's like, hey, the dog has some dietary things. Don't feed the dog. most of the people that are there will respect it. There's always going to be somebody who's like, he's a hard boy. Right. You can have one of these. It's like, yo, we told you don't feed my fucking dog.
I made the decision.
I made the decision already. What are you doing?
Right.
But they'll sneak him shit.
Right.
So funny. Your daddy's so strict, isn't he?
Yeah, right. And then, but when they do that to a kid, when they see an adult, like, because as a kid, right, when your parents or whoever's raising you is like the authority in your head.
Yeah.
And when you undermine the authority, that's when you get disciplined.
Yeah.
But when you see somebody there interacting with as another adult undermine your authority, you're like, well, everything he must say must be wrong anyway.
Yeah.
Because this adult is undermining him, so he probably doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
So it's probably not that bad.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, but that's the weird line you get to when you're trying to raise a kid.
The hardest thing in the world is raise a kid.
It's the weird line you get to. The helplessness you feel of when they're sick, the discipline you feel you have to do, the times when you feel like you should just be easy and let shit go and not be too reckless about it.
You don't know what that line is.
You don't know what the line is.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out that line the whole time. And then you start reflecting like, all right, I don't want to be how so-and-so treated me.
Yeah.
I need to be a little bit chiller, a little easier than that area because I know how that made me feel.
Right.
So I need to give them that ability to.
I was kind of strict on my son early because, like, he's not, like, I grew up in Boston. He's growing up in the South Shore right now.
Yeah.
And I already can, this is sad to say, I already can tell which kids are gonna be on drugs and shit.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, yo, I'm gonna put the fear of God in you, like, yo, you may not be this, but you ain't gonna be you're gonna, like, I be telling them, like, drugs are just bad. Like, and I'm, like, hard on them to let them know, like, what I say goes, because I'm gonna have to, because you're gonna get influenced by stupid kids and shit like that, you know what I mean? Your friends are gonna be one of the biggest influences you're ever gonna have as a kid, you know what I mean? And I just be trying to count, like, yo, I tell them, stay away from these fucking drugs. I at 10 years, I'm like, yo, bro, just stay away from drugs. Like, please, if you do me anything, it's to stay away from drugs, please. Yeah. Like, you see, like, I be seeing, like, a lot of people on drugs, bro. Like, like a lot. Like, like they say opioids, like, that's a real thing. Yeah. Like in the South Shore, you see a lot of like zombies walking around.
Zombies everywhere, but shit, I grew up with fucking zombies. My pops, my aunt, like people all very close to me in my house. I grew up with my grandparents, but then my pops, you know, he was on that shit. And my aunt was on that shit. And other family members.
And you know this shit when you get older.
Yeah, you know when you get older, you really know it. But when you're younger, you know
you was on drugs the whole time, right?
But you know it's bad even when you're young, you're a bit younger and you know. Right. I'm not saying I was like 5 or 6, right? But I knew by like shit. I would say elementary school, I knew what was up. Right. And then by middle school for sure. Right. So now you're looking at that and you're like, I don't know. I would love to lie and say what other people say and be like, since I seen what it did to my dad, you know what I'm saying? And you know, he's much better now, but I could lie and be like, since I seen what it did to my dad, it made me never want to touch the shit.
That's bullshit.
Right? There's a lot of people who say that. But I'll say, I just didn't touch it because my friends were athletes. I was an athlete. Mm-hmm. And so I used to I was really that dude that subconsciously was like, hey man, if you fucking with that, you a loser. Like who's getting fucked up in high school? Because we weren't. Like my peer group wasn't. Now there were people that were.
Plenty of people getting fucked up in high school.
Plenty of people were, and we would all be at parties together or whatever. But we would just look at them like that's what they do.
That's what they doing.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they doing. But we're still all hanging out together, having fun with everybody, hooking up with everybody, or whatever. But that's their shit. Like I'm not getting drunk. I'm not getting drunk and like I didn't drink alcohol to a freshman year of. I mean, I had a wine cooler. I think my senior year, like a wine cooler. Yeah. Maybe 2 tops. Right. I never drank so I didn't really drink any alcohol to college.
Right. Alcohol was never my thing. I smoked bud and shit like in my second time going through 6th grade. I started smoking weed. Yeah.
See, that's crazy. Yeah. But see that right there, I would be like, there were some kids who was doing that earlier, and I used to just be like, damn, I can't believe that somebody's like that they're smoking or whatever. And like, you know, at the time. When you're an athlete and you're growing up at that time, I'm feeding into the hype of just like, man, you fucking your life
you're
up.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm like, that's my path. Because I'm like, how can you do that? Like, I'm waking up at you know, going to this thing called Mad Dogs. I'm at 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, working out in the gym, and playing football and wrestling,
all kind of
playing
shit.
track. And so that's how my life was. So I was like, look at these losers,
right?
You know. And then you get older and perspective starts to change. Then I went and I worked at Disney World, and I was in like my freshman year of
college.
Well, my first semester, sophomore year, I lived in Disney World.
Yeah.
Man, I was fucking. The first time I ever smoked weed was then.
Yeah.
You know, I'm with this dude, and then you know my roommates and stuff. They're like, "You ever smoke weed?" I was like, "No." It was the best time of my life, man.
I missed out.
This shit is fun and a motherfucker.
Right.
And I don't know, like I felt cool with it then, though. But even when I think about it now, though, like drinking alcohol,
I don't think I want to started it earlier.
No,
That's what it is.
Like when I think about it now, it's fucked up, Jason, because I drink. And if you look back, if most of us look back on our lives, depending on what age you are, say you're 35, 36, 37, 39, 40, wherever you are, 32. A lot of people have been drinking since about 20,
for the most
21.
Part,
Some people have been drinking since 14, some have been drinking since 11, whatever. Okay, but let's say on average, most people have been drinking since about 18, 19, 20 years old.
Like late teens, early 20s.
Late teens, early 20s, right? Bro. You get to your 30s, you've been drinking 12 fucking years
You're getting the impact of 10 years of drinking already.
You've been drinking 15, 20 years.
Right, you wonder why your kidney doesn't work when you're 40.
That's what I'm trying to say, though. You don't even realize how much you've been putting in. Like, you're a professional at that. Anything else you've done for that many years, you're considered a professional.
Yeah, right.
People have been drinking 20 years straight up.
Right.
If you've been drinking since 20 and you're 40,
it's like
you've been drinking a solid 20 years.
Right. It's like those people when it was like when you start going to like the club in like your 20s or like early 20s, and the motherfuckers who could just drink a lot. Yeah. Like everybody is throwing up and down, but there's this one dude like, yo, how can you put away this much liquor? You're 23 years old
and be okay.
Like you've been drinking for a long time, bro. Like this, you know, like
you shouldn't be able to handle it. Like
right.
Everybody else's body is kicking in.
Right. Everybody's throwing up, and you just good.
That's a weird, you know. But some people start early, and that's a scary thing when you have kids to think about that. Like, how do you block that? And then how do you block it in a way where you're smart enough to intercept it and block it with some charisma and some
finesse
tactic, and some finesse, so that you're not pushing them to do it more when they have the opportunity.
Right. Yeah, you're not.
That's a fucking tough situation to be in.
It's hard, man.
Because you got to be smooth with it to let them know, but at the same time, you got to be stern enough to be like, hey, I'm not telling you to do this shit.
Well, yeah. And it's like with my son in particular, like we was driving through Boston, and you know, you get off Mass Ave, you see all those junkies over there. And he asked me, I was like, those are people who do drugs. Like that's how they live. Yeah. Like they live outside, they just fucked up out here. I was like, that's what drugs does to you, literally. Yep. Well, the super hard ones at least.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
But he knows that's what a drug addict looks like. And he can recognize it now. You know what I mean? And it's just.
And you said how old is he?
He's 10. He's about to be 11.
Okay.
He's
fifth grade.
He's old enough to get a couple hard lessons.
Yeah, he's fifth grade. He knows what's up.
He's gonna be a sixth grade next year. Like that's middle school.
Yeah.
Now that's like by middle school, it's like you're not done raising, but the stencil is there. Yeah. Of what you know what I mean? Like the stencil you put.
It's there.
Yeah.
Because there's people doing shit.
Right.
I remember I was in middle school. I remember 7th grade. We used to have this little area before I went to Pierce Middle School, in this little area in Milton. In this little area before you walk down to the path to go to school, all the buses pulling at at the front of the school, there used to be this little tree, like a very foresty area right in front of the school, like all trees and shit, woody area, I should say. So I remember there was some people in there, man. I remember like there was a couple dudes who was like, I was in 7th grade, there was a couple 8th graders in there, and they were like, yo, so-and-so's inside here, you know what I mean? This dude TJ, he was inside there. they're like, you smoking a cigarette or whatever. And they were like, yo, so all these kids are in there and they're all smoking and playing hacky sack and shit.
Yeah,
you know, I'm in Milton, right? So I'm in there, like hacky sacking. So I'm in there and I'm standing in there with everybody because I talked to everybody. I was cool with everybody. I was cool with the losers.
Yeah.
I was cool with the coolest cool kids. I was cool with
everybody. The same way. Like you gotta be cool with everybody.
So
your perspective that way.
So much better perspective.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the middle of all these dudes and everybody's smoking or whatever. And they were like, hey Corey, you want a cigarette? Right? And I was like, nah, I'm good. And then I remember, like, this has always been my personality. They were like, you sure, man? And I was like, yo, man, what? The peer pressure's killing me right now.
Yeah.
Like, I start making peer pressure jokes. Right? They're like, all right, chill. So they start laughing. So we're all laughing about the peer pressure jokes.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, I was like, yeah, let me see it real quick, man.
Yeah.
So I took one of them. I took like a puff. And I was like, this shit's fucking gross. And they were like, don't throw it, give it back. You know what I mean? So somebody took it. And they took it back. But I didn't like turn into a smoker or anything. I took a puff.
Yeah.
Because I was like, let me see what it's all about, but I don't want this shit.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I want my sons to be able to have some of that tenacity in them. Right. I don't want them to be the type of fucking kids that like smoke a cigarette and like, this is what I've been waiting for all my life. This is what I need.
Like,
and then the next
day, lure out of it. Yeah.
now he's just smoking every day. Like, yo, you got any more of them squares?
Stealing other people's cigarettes. I never smoked a cigarette.
You never did?
I never even tried one. I couldn't get past the smell.
Oh shit.
I smoked cigars a couple times, but like a cigarette, I never put a cigarette to my mouth.
I did it then, and I did it one time when I was in Rome. For a college graduation gift. I was in Rome hanging out with this dude and a couple of girls or whatever. And to hang out with the girls and smoke a cigarette. They're like, we all smoke. I don't want to smoke. It's a clove.
And then that's like...
I was like, yeah, give it to me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll smoke the shit out of anything.
And fucking with girls will get you into a lot of shit, bro. A lot of... When the pussy's right there and they're offering it to you in conjunction with this other activity you gotta participate in.
Like, I'll smoke. I'm over there smoking a clove.
Oh, these
are delicious. It was a clove.
Some shit.
It
smells funny, right?
It smelled funny, They were like, we love these. I was like, this is not bad at all. Try to buy my time. This is delicious.
Right.
You guys ready to go? No, we're gonna have another one.
Right.
Don't you mean, I have another one. Smoking, I just start fake smoking the shit.
Yeah, I can't fuck with cigarettes, so it's just like taste. Yeah, the taste I can't get past, bro. The taste.
Yeah, man, that's dope though, man. So when you were a security guard, were you a funny? Like, were you a funny dude as a security guard?
Well, you know what? I was over and I was the only one there.
Oh shit!
I told the story actually to Brian Higginbotham. You know what I used to do? I was in a rich ass private school. When I say they had everything there, they had everything there. So I told this actually to Brian on my podcast a couple episodes ago. What I used to do was I went, like, I had the keys to everywhere. When I say everywhere, I could get into people. I used to sleep on people's couches in their office and everything. Like, just being a terrible employee type shit.
Right.
But what I used to do was I used to go into the music room. They had like one-step stages. Yeah. And I found a way to turn the mic on. So what I did before I ever actually booked a show is I would do my jokes in an empty room to nobody.
Oh, that's funny.
I used to do that shit like a lot of nights to just go.
Did you say how they sounded?
Yeah, and that's why I told Brian that's why I knew my voice sounded like, because I was doing it there before I actually had a show. You know what I mean? So it wasn't completely foreign to me.
How would you transition? When you got done with a joke, clearly there's no laugh. Yeah. So would you just be like, yeah, that's crazy. So also, like, how would you transition by yourself?
I don't know. I don't even remember. But this is why I always tell people. This is why I don't care if there's 1 or 1,000. I'm gonna give people a show. Yeah. Because I performed in front of nobody, literally. Yeah. That's what I always say. I literally have performed in front of nobody. Right. So if it's just 6 people in there, I'm at least try to give them a show. Right. And then it was just I don't know, man. It was just I don't want to use that typical calling shit, but it just engulfed me. Yeah. I got engulfed in it. Like, and I guess got lost in it, and I was comfortable with being lost in it. Yeah. It was just dope.
Would you do anything else besides stand up?
What do you mean? Like if like
would you do anything else? Like would you? Are you like, man? I really love cars, man. I love to build cars. Like I wish I could build cars.
I love cars, bro. I fuck with my cars. Like I got shit on my car right now. Like, yeah. I used to detail cars, hard body, bro.
Okay.
Like I worked in a detail shop and everything. I love whips, bro. I love cars, man. I love cars. I love freaking.
So side note, what should somebody pay for realistically? What should somebody pay for a detail if they have a regular size car,
like a regular 4-door,
a regular 4-door or a small SUV?
Right.
What should they be looking at in prices to like pay for a good detail for their car?
Like between like 150, 200.
Okay. And that should go through, and that's everything. The carpets are shampooed. The vents are fucking shiny because they clean the dust out.
Well, this is what happens with detailing, all right? Is that this is the, and probably it's like this with most business. People don't want to. They want in their mind they got something, but they don't want to pay for it. In a sense, so say I like offer a bronze package, a silver package, and a gold package, right? And let's say the bronze package is I wipe the dashboard and vacuum it real quick and whatever. I'll give you shit a quick wipe. Then like people being cheap, all right, give me the bronze package. That's it. That's all I need.
Yeah.
But in their mind, they're thinking their car's gonna be just spicy when they get it back. Like, bro, you paid me just to wipe it down and vacuum. Like, what you want from me? Like, I'm not gonna get in all the vents and all that.
All the vents and get all the dust out the vents and all that shit.
That's not what you're paying for, dog. And that's. It's a hustle in a sense because like I know what you want, but I'm gonna let you not pay for what you want, and then when you come back, you're gonna really pay for what you really need. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And that's what people understand. And it's like, and think about it, it's like people think because you're not doing heavy lifting that things aren't work. That's what people's conception. They think because you're not like lifting heavy shit and doing construction that things aren't work. Being in somebody's dirty ass car for hours is work, bro. It's work.
Right.
Like, especially if it's hot.
Right.
In somebody's car and like people, yo,
what's some of the nastiest shit you've been in somebody's car and you be like, yo, this shit right here?
I found mad shit in people's cars. I found dog piss, dog throw up, regular throw up, cocaine. I found all kind of shit in people's cars, bro. I found credit cards I wanted to use as an asshole. I was scared.
What is it, like squeak, like in between the seats?
I found, there was this girl who, her dad was rich because I found his business card. He was an international real estate agent.
Oh, shit.
So her college car was a freaking Audi A7.
Oh,
and it was filthy.
Yeah.
Like filthy, dog. And I found coke in there. I found all kind of shit in there. I found shit in people's cars. And then what's even worse
Did you keep the coke?
No, I didn't keep it, dog. I didn't keep it, dog.
Yeah, but what did you do? Did you just take it and put it back in the cup holder?
It wasn't even enough to sell or nothing.
Oh,
no. What happened was she was, because the detail shop I worked at also was a dealership, so she was selling the car to them.
Gotcha.
I just cleaned it so they could sell it again. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, I found some. And the thing like I told like my day job is maintenance, so I be in people's apartments. Now you want to see some shit, bro?
Yeah.
Bro, people are disgusting. Yeah. I lost all faith in people.
Tell me some shit that you've seen that you're like, yo, this is fucking bananas.
Shit, like people, I've seen like tubs, right?
Yeah.
Like whole bathrooms that are just covered in mold. And I'm talking like where everything's black.
The whole bathroom's covered in mold. And what does the person look like though? Now tell me this. Does the person look like this shit would be covered in mold, or do they look good?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Working maintenance.
Yeah.
I will never fuck with a chick for real until I see her house. You see some bad chicks who live
beautiful, like beautiful women, and you get in there and you're like, this is unbelievable.
Disgusting, bro. I'm talking disgusting. I'm talking like just like dishes that been there for weeks.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
You see dirty shit, dirty drawers, dirty everything. You see fucking carpets that ain't been vacuumed in who knows how long. You just see foul shit.
Has anyone ever asked you to come in as you're doing maintenance? Has anyone ever asked you to come in and you're like, ooh,
no, shit. Oh, shit. Corey just bust his ass up. Corey just bust his ass out the chair.
Yo, I just fell out the chair, dog, straight up. Damn, I wish that shit was on video.
And you was too far for me to help you.
I was too far. No, I was broke my damn wrist. I just fell out the fucking chair. Yo, have you ever? Damn, I wish that shit was on video. Have you ever been to someone's crib and they were like,
Like
they just
looking
didn't
good?
dress. No, I'm saying they didn't even get dressed. They were just like, whatever. You're the maintenance guy. I don't give a fuck. I'm in my robe. I'm in my towel.
Hell yeah. I seen some chicks I didn't mind taking a look at, bro. Like, and then you see some ones you're like, you need to put some on because it's just.
And so you're in there, they just act like it's whatever.
Bro, you're just in there because it's like, because the thing about it too, it gets to the point where there's some people call maintenance all the time because they just got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
So you're in there so much they kind of feel like they know you, you know.
Yeah.
So they don't give a fuck. They don't
like,
care.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Work was terrible today. Blah, blah, blah. This thing's never gonna get fixed.
Right. Exactly.
I know it's not on you. The company needs to just get better quality stuff.
Yo, that's exactly what it is, bro. You're just complaining to me.
You're like,
If I had like money for every time I said I don't know, you gotta call management. Like that's my go-to. I'm just here to fix shit. I like whatever's on the paper, that's what I'm here for. Like I'm not here. It's because you're the only one they see. Because when they call a manager, they're just talking on the phone. So you're like the first person they see. So they want to air all their grievances out to you. They don't know that you done did this 7 times today. I'm not just bringing all y'all problems to. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Because I don't care. I just don't care. What do you want from me?
So have you? So tell me. I just want to know. I'm interested in shit like that.
Yeah.
Like the show Hoarders is Hoarders.
Yo,
but when somebody's not a hoarder and they're just nasty is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And then it's also different to see when it's somebody that doesn't look like it. Like they're smooth. They look smooth.
Yo, you see it,
man or woman, they look smooth. And then you get inside and you're like, yo,
I see it every day. I've seen people who they be like, they'll have mice, right?
Yeah.
And then most of the time I just send an exterminator in there, but sometimes you gotta help these niggas. Like first time you go in there, you be like, all right, you gotta check to see if there's mice or whatever, like where they could possibly be coming from.
Yeah.
And I went in this lady's house. She has like a whole cupboard in her bedroom full of food.
Oh shit!
And you wonder why you got in her bedroom, bro.
A cupboard,
like a cupboard of food, and I'm talking a lot of food, bro.
Oh shit!
And you just see just.
Yo, what do you say? Do you just start laughing, or you just like? Well,
it depends
this
on
might be. This might be the reason.
Right. It depends on if I'm already in a pissy mood, I kind of be laying into people sometimes. Not to the point to get fired, but enough that they feel bad about it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, well, obviously you have mice. Look at all this food in your bedroom, type of shit. Sarcastic shit. You know what I mean? But some people are just and they just. A lot of people don't have they don't have they don't take responsibility for anything they do. So everything is somebody else's problem and they want it to just be fixed with no effort from them.
Yeah.
So it's just all right, you got mice, you gotta get this food out of your room. They I need that there because they always got a medical problem. They always got a freaking my diabetes says that I need food right there. Be like, you can take the extra 3 steps to the kitchen, and it's just I've heard everything.
Have you ever walked in a house and you were just like, yo, I'm stepping over so much shit to get to what I need to get to?
Bro.
How do you have you ever walked in and the person's not even they don't even seem embarrassed about it. They don't even apologize.
They don't care. At one time, right, I went to this girl's apartment, right? She's like the classic ratchet chick, the stereotypical ratchet chick. Crib's dirty, people living there probably ain't supposed to be there, kids are nappy headed, it just stinks in there, it's just nasty in there, right? So she had broken the tiles, like a bathroom wall. Sometimes we'll have those small tiles, a bunch of them. So sometimes we gotta repair it if it's repairable, right? So I'm stepping over shit just getting to the bathroom, right?
Jeez.
And the thing about me is the biggest thing for me is smells. I can't get past stinky smells. I can see some wild shit and maybe ignore it, but stinky smells just it just does something to me. I don't know what it is. Stinky smells it literally invokes anger in me. I can't. When something stinks, it just pisses me off. I don't know what it is. So I'm already pissed off. I'm in this stinky ass house, right? Yeah. So I'm hopping over shit, and this lady always calls and shit because she's always breaking shit. You know what I'm saying? Because she don't pay for her shit, so she don't care about it. She's breaking her toilets like they're nothing, and whatever. And so I'm I'm looking I'm probably gonna. In my head, I'm doing all this mental calculation. I'm probably gonna need 7 new towels, some liquid nails, something, all this stupid shit in my head, right? Yeah. So there was a dustpan, not even a dust, a shirt or something, right, on the floor. So I move it with my foot to like get a good. Bitch got like a used condom just there. Like used, like fresh. It didn't look that old either. Like I was like, yo, lady. I said, Miss, can you come in? Like, I said, Miss, can you come in? I said, yo, I'm not judging, but you got to move that. Like, I'm not touching that. Even with gloves on, I'm not touching that. That's a used condom. That's disgusting. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you knew I was coming right in this area.
Yo, and you swept that up and like, covered it up with the dustpan?
Like, just nasty. Dog.
What did she say? Was it like
she was like, what the fuck did she say? She was like, oops, sorry. Like, at least I'm keeping it safe. Like, no, that's not the issue here. That's not the issue.
Oh my god!
Like it was just like I see like some wild shit, dog. Like and people like I just like I said I lost all faith in humanity, dog. Like there's some nasty people out there.
See a job like that, I ain't gonna front though. I'm not gonna front. Like a job like that, because I like to. I'm a bit of a voyeur. I feel like myself. Like I like
to see wild shit.
I like to see behind the curtain.
Yeah, I see some shit.
Yeah, I like to see behind the curtain.
It keeps me exciting, and if that's the right word to use, I definitely don't. Something's always happening every day.
Yeah,
you know,
whether it's walking in and there's some nipples that pop out, or whether you go in and you're just like, damn, this is crazy, or whether you walk in and you're like, oh, that's how they cook.
I'll send you some pictures from now on. When I see wild shit, I'll send it to you.
Or you'll see somebody like even like I'm talking about regular shit. I'm saying even seeing somebody cook something a certain way, like you're in their domain at that time, and that's shit you don't get to see.
Yeah, so people don't understand when you're in people's houses, like it's a different
with no cameras. I'm saying, right. So like you get to see real fucking people.
I see how people really
really live. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How they really hang out. Like does this really prim, proper woman sit on the couch with her legs spread wide open while she's chilling?
See shit.
You know, is this dude? You know, like how is he acting? Like you know, I like shit like that. Like
it was just crazy.
How crazy.
Like the other day, right? There was this dude. He's mad cool, right? He's just I think he's probably like 6'7".
Yeah.
He drives a Mustang. I thought he was just a cool dude, right?
Yeah.
I went to his crib. It's like freakishly clean. I didn't know this dude was like the biggest video game nerd in the world. I thought he was just like some swagged out black dude.
That's what I'm saying.
And I went to his crib and he's like the biggest video game nerd, like a real one.
Like I like shit. Like see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You get in and you see something like that, you're like,
yeah, right. I had no idea.
That's what I love about people. I love the abstract, the shit you wouldn't think that you don't get to normally see. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where you're like, wow.
Right.
Wow. Because what it does is it opens up your brain to think different shit about anybody. About anybody.
Like I used to think that I had a good grasp for looking at somebody. I can grasp like how probably somebody's behavior, but like how they live, I know I have no idea how people live anymore. Cause like the people that you would think are living a certain way aren't, and like you'll see like chicks, right, who like look good. I'm talking good by anybody's standards, right? Yeah. Go to the house and the crib has nothing in it. Like they just broke. All they have is clothes.
It's so funny. And that's a lot of people in the world.
Yo,
that's so many people in the world. Bro, in that front and that right there, you saying that, you know something? You saying that right there is part of the problem with the depression that's going on in the world right now. Why it because people fucking think that they see somebody that looks good, they got everything, and you get to see behind the curtain. You're like, they don't have shit. They don't have shit. They got is those clothes.
And that's why, like, when I be on the Instagram and people be acting like these women are goddess, I'm like, yo, these bitches are probably broke, bro. Yeah. Like, I've seen girls like,
and women and dudes, same thing, out here fronting and acting like they got all this shit and they don't, and then it makes people depressed.
I went in this dude's crib. This dude was nasty. He's so nasty he had bed bugs. So we had to go in his crib. He had bed bugs. You know? Crib was nasty, cat pissing and shit and everywhere on the floor. Him and his boy sleeping on air mattress. Open the closet. This nigga got Gucci, Louis Vuitton belts to the brim. Jordans, the newest shit.
It doesn't even make sense. That is unbelievable.
Yo, and it's real, bro. Like
that is unbelievable.
It's real. Like people really live like that. Like literally live for what's it called? Acceptance, whatever.
Living for the gram, living for social media, living for acceptance, living for what other people think of them.
Right,
Living
and it's
for
like fake, bro. Like
That's
people
so
live a lot of facades. Like a lot of people live facades, and I see it firsthand, bro.
See,
like,
that's what and again, I swear, that's what I like about. That's what I like about being
I be
able to
seeing wild shit. Like every day, I see something crazy.
Yeah.
To the point where it's not crazy to me no more, and that's what's kind of scary. Where it's just like I don't even like, oh damn, like, just another.
Because some of the people that hold, like even comedians, like I think it might have been Bill Burr who said this, but he was like, some of the people that hold other people accountable for what they've done 10 years ago, it's like, trace your fucking life back 10 years and let's go through all your shit.
I always say that you dig in anybody's life, you're gonna see some shit you don't like.
You dig back, right? But it's like, dig back in your life 10, 15
right, let's
years.
see what you was doing.
And let's see what you was doing. Let's see if every decision you made was on par with how things are now.
That's what I understand. Like, when did everybody have to become a politician?
It's fucking crazy.
Like, regular people have to have a perfect record. You never done nothing wild.
Fuck out of here. If we live like that, then everybody who ever went to jail or ever got in trouble for everything should just be locked up for the rest of their life. Everybody. That doesn't matter. I mean, if you get caught speeding, you need to, like, because if we're not going to give
forgiveness,
second chances and forgiveness on things, then everything is absolute. So if we're not going to do everything absolute, then why are we going back so far to find these things on people now? But that's what's too crazy. Either you need to go absolute or don't go.
But when you do some wild shit, right? If you're a decent human, more than likely you learn from that lesson. Like anybody, the shit I was doing when I was 21, bro, I wouldn't be caught dead doing 90% of that shit today. Like, cause I was wild. I was a wild little young 21-year-old dude. And I'm not that no more. Like 10 years ago, you know what I was doing 10 years ago, bro? I was freaking doing wild shit. I was fucking with chicks and having that chick drop me off to another chick without washing my dick off, going fuck that chick. Like I wouldn't do nasty shit like that no more. But I was doing that when I was 21 because I was an ignorant little dude. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and then illegal shit that I'm not gonna mention on this podcast. And it's just like, come on, it's 10 years ago. But it's just like, when it's to the extreme, I guess you kind of can, but everything is not to the extreme just because you make it the extreme.
But why don't people should have the right and the ability to
differentiate,
grow, grow. What the fuck? You grew.
You ain't that
people
person
grow.
No more.
Most of us grow. Some people are the same, and we separate from them. We're like, I can't fuck with this dude. He's the same. We haven't changed in 20 years. You're doing the same shit. But but most of us grow. So like, okay, so there was a while ago, maybe this was like a year ago or 2 years ago, Liam Neeson was saying that. Remember Liam Neeson was saying something?
Like saying like nigga or something.
Yeah, because he was saying that like this black dude did something to one of his female friends.
Or like she got robbed.
She got robbed or something happened to her, whatever. And he was like, he said, I was so mad that I was ready to go out and kill the first black person he saw. Or, I don't even know if he said nigga. If he said, I was gonna kill the first nigga I saw or kill something like that. He was like, that's how I felt at the time. He was like, I didn't do it. He's like, but that's how I felt because I was so enraged about what had happened to my friend.
And people act like they don't have inappropriate thoughts.
But it's like the dude is expressing something that he felt, which he didn't have to say.
Yeah, I was about to say, he didn't even have to say
He's expressing something that he felt that he didn't act on. He just said he felt like it. He's voicing how he felt about something, but he didn't do it. He's like, hey man, I had that thought, but that's what fucking went through my head because it was just so crazy at the time. Now, I'm not mad at that fucking dude. I'm not mad at him. What am I supposed to boycott his movies? Fuck that.
We're not gonna go see Taken 4.
I'm seeing this shit come out. I'm seeing it. You know what I mean? Good luck. Well, fucking good luck. You know, so like, but like situations like that don't bug me out so much. Like now.
It's like with Louis C.K.
But Louis C.K.
I always say that shit. Like, all right. And I don't know. I'm probably this is gonna split the audience, right? What his situations was, he asked these chicks to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do, jerking off, touch their toes, whatever the fuck he wanted to do. He asked them, right? Okay, how is he? If you ask somebody to do something, how the hell are you supposed to know they don't want to do it?
If they don't leave or say no, if they don't
voice say hell no, get the fuck. How am I supposed to know? How are you gonna know you're gonna do something wrong?
Clearly, he's done it before.
Right.
Sarah Silverman said he's done it before, and he's probably done it. He's done it way more times.
He probably done more than
Ask for permission. They let it happen, and then you complain about it after. The way I feel about that is that you have to have some sort of onus yourself. It can't be all on the dude.
Right.
If somebody asks you some shit, if somebody says, "Do you want to watch me jerk off?"
Right.
And you're like, "I guess so," and you sit there, right? Even if you say nothing and you just stay there and you look. When I'm not blocking the door,
you can leave.
The door's
right.
at your back.
Right.
And I say, "Do you want to watch me jerk off?" Your body language and sitting there and watching me
means
is telling
okay.
me yes.
Right.
When is that not yes?
Right.
If I say, "Hey, shit's about to go down in this room right now, you should leave if you don't want to see it."
Right.
Which is the same thing as saying, "Do you want to watch me jerk off?"
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Shit's about to go down that you might not want to see.
Bro.
Is it okay if I do it?
Yeah.
If you don't have any responsibility to get the fuck up, I'll say that to my sister right now. If my sister was in that situation, she was like, "I don't know, I thought it was for my career." I'd be like, "Well, if you thought your career was worth more than watching this dude jerk off,
then that's
you
the
thought it was
decision you
gonna be a thing,
made.
that's the decision you made. You could have left though. He didn't.
Right.
Did he fucking force you in that room? No, he didn't force me in the room. No, he didn't do anything. He asked me though, and I'd be like, "Yo, that dude's a nasty dude.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't get in a room with him like that again." But he didn't hold you down. He didn't do whatever. He asked you that question, and he let go.
But it's like as an adult, you as an adult, forget the extreme sexual circumstance. As an adult, you always, for the most part, put yourself outside of situations you don't want to be in.
Yes.
Like when you're at a freaking party that's too boring, you leave it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
What comics? We're all socially awkward on the way. When we're around comics we don't like, you find a way to get out of that circle. You sit there, I'll be talking to you, and a comic who I think is weird just comes in. I'm gonna find a way to get out of that some shit way. I'm like, "Hey, I gotta go use the bathroom," and just never walk back over there or some shit like that.
Right.
Like I think that's just human nature to get out of circumstances you don't want to be in.
Right.
Right. If you watch National Geographics, right, you see a warthog. He starts seeing a bunch of lions circle. He's gonna try to find a way to get the fuck. He's like, "Oh shit, these niggas are gonna try to eat me. Let me get the fuck out of here right now."
So then, but if the warthog decided to stay there,
right,
part of him getting eaten is his fucking fault.
Right. You saw what was going down.
You saw what was going down. You seen it. The lion was like, "Oh."
Right.
He was like, "Fuck it.
All right, I'm gonna chill.
I'm good. I'm chilling.
I feel lucky today.
I'm cool."
Right.
So I mean, and I say that to say, let me play devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the women felt like, "Man, it's fucked up. Like we thought we were gonna lose our careers, and that like he's a powerful person, and so we felt like we couldn't say no to that situation." Let's play that role for a second. We felt like we couldn't say no to that position because he is a powerful dude, and so saying no to somebody who's powerful.
Let me stop you real quick before you go in that.
Yeah.
When he did these things, he wasn't the biggest Louis C.K. he was. This was like, if you're year 7 and you're chilling with a chick who's like year 5. It wasn't like he was like he wasn't.
I mean, I think he was bigger than that, though. I'll say he was bigger than that.
That's not what I heard.
He was bigger than that. I don't think it was like a 7 or 5 type thing. But
he was like he had like a special out and shit.
He was definitely that dude, though. He was highly touted.
Yeah.
As like a good like I feel like. I want to go down that road because I want to go down that road because I feel like he was. Like, let's say he was in a power position. Now, I'm not saying he was in a power position to ruin their careers, but he definitely was in a powerful position. And so, them being like, "Hey, we didn't want to do that, but we thought if we said no, it could potentially
ruin our career,
fuck up our careers." Now, if I think from that angle, I think it's a fucked up position to be in.
Right. It's definitely unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. But if you morally feel like that's wrong, then you need to leave that situation.
Right.
And let somebody know what's up.
Right. If
you don't leave the situation unless somebody know what's up, if you don't leave it unless somebody know what's up, then you've decided
that it is okay.
That it's okay, and you decided that the career is worth more than that. So then you can't come back at that situation later and be like,
and say now my morals are more important than my career.
My career now. You can't.
It doesn't work like that.
You're picking one or the other. Right? You're picking one or the other. No matter how crazy that is, you're picking one or the other.
Right.
There was no threat to your life.
Right.
There was no threat to your safety.
Right.
There was no threat to your safety in that moment. No threat. Admittedly, there's no threat to your safety. And so You just so that's the only shit that bugs me out. I just don't hate how all the pressure, all of the not pressure, but all of the blame is supposed to be on the dude in that situation.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. That's my only issue with it. They share blame.
Yeah.
Just share some of the blame.
Right.
You share some of that blame. You should have fucking left. There's a lot of women who are like, I would have got the fuck out of it. I would have bounced.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Or if I stayed there and watched, I'd have been like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
okay.
You saw Lil CK track out.
Yeah, you saw him drink up. Keep that shit over there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. It's
a weird situation, man. I hate shit like that.
But why on comedy, but not what we're talking about? Why are people attacking comedians now? I'm not talking about Lil CK. I'm saying in general. Why is like that group getting attacked? Because like they talk about like the shit we talk about you can't say, right? Like anything. Like let's say whatever, but they'll watch a movie, a whole movie about the shit that they say you can't say as a comedian. They'll listen to a song about all the shit you can't say as a comedian. But when comedians are talking, like it's not okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because they feel it's more direct and in their face in the way that they do it. And I think the attack is there for everything. I just think it gets pushed down more. I think this for movies, there's always been backlash for movies. Whatever the movies are, there's always backlash. We just don't hear about it that much, and we don't care about it that much. But I bet you if we talk to some actors and actresses, they'd be like, oh man, they protested this movie protested. When people were trying to show up to the movie theaters, this movie was it. Yeah, so I think a lot of that shit happens. We're just comedians, so we're overly sensitive to anything that anybody says about comedians.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so them saying what we can and can't say, again, I think they do it across all the art forms. I just think that it's also more effective to attack the biggest.
Yeah.
So the bigger the movie, the bigger the protest, the bigger all the shit that people shouting about. The more pressing it is, right? The more press it gets. Yes. So the bigger the comedian, the more press it gets.
Right.
The bigger, they don't give a fuck what we say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't care. If you blow up and you're saying certain shit, it's a big deal. Then they care about what you say. They're tracing back your shit. What did you say?
All kind of wild shit. It's just weird to me, man.
Because I don't think it's extra crazy. I just think that they're people who have an agenda are trying to attack people who have a voice. And so if it's a movie, if it's a musician, there's people who show up at musicians' places all the time and they protest.
But what I say is like this, right? If I'm at a show, right? Let's say I'm performing in front of 300 people. Let's say I just did 300 people, right? You didn't enjoy what I was talking about, right? You got offended, whoever you are, right? I'm offended at what, that's cool. You have the right to be offended,
right?
And I got the right to talk about what I want to. These other 299 people enjoy what I say.
Yeah.
So, who gives a fuck if you got offended, really? That's what it really boils down to. It's like, you can even talk shit about me, but you can't tell me not to do this anymore. Right. Because there is a market of people who want to hear the shit I talk about.
Right.
In the sense that what people don't understand too is it's like, okay, you didn't like what I said, right? That's cool. But you're in a room full of other people. So what you're feeling is it's an isolated feeling. Because you're the only one who wasn't enjoying it. Like, I've been in rooms where people didn't like what I said. Yeah. But if fucking 97% of the people are laughing, then I'm not gonna tailor my act to 3% of people who don't like what I'm saying.
But the problem is you'll never be able to change those 3. Yeah. So then what happens is, in order to make yourself bulletproof, you have to position yourself like Chappelle. Mm-hmm. And in the position that he has, is that he doesn't have to answer the sponsors. Right. So that's why he does a special. People are like, he's so free. He's so free because he don't have a fucking show.
He don't have a boss.
He don't have a boss. He don't have a show. If he had a show, then what happens is immediately the people you've offended, whoever that is, they go to those sponsors. And immediately they go to those sponsors.
They apply pressure to them.
They apply pressure. So they go to the network and they say, and then they apply, and then they go to the network and they complain. And they complain to the sponsors. And then the sponsors hit the network up and they're like, yo, hey man, you're gonna have to do something about this. We apologize or we're cutting ties. Right. And then they're like, hey man, they're like, hey, you're gonna have to apologize or we cutting ties, baby. Right. You're gonna have to do it because we're gonna lose all the sponsorship and that's who pays everybody. And
then you're gonna lose all your money.
You're gonna lose your money. That's coming forward to you. So then that's why people apologize. I understand why they apologize because of the game, the way it is. It's all corporate. It's all
political.
corporate. So, but you position yourself at Chappelle. You don't gotta apologize. You say whatever. You don't gotta apologize. You can actually talk, so they can go and complain.
Same with Bill Burr.
Yeah.
He says he got his audience that are gonna see him, and it's international at this point.
Yeah.
He's not really in movies like that. And
Right.
He just literally lives off his stand-up.
Right.
And why wouldn't I say what the fuck I want to say?
Exactly, which is a great position to be in, to actually speak your honest truth, whatever that is.
And it's like, that's what people are thinking though.
Yeah.
If you sit there and say, if I had a bunch of joke about freaking women's rights, that's cool. But I make a joke that it doesn't go in line with women's rights, and now I'm wrong.
Right.
Because just as many people think that you should go left, there's just as many people who think you should go right.
Right.
It's not one way. What they're trying to do, they're trying to make it seem like you're the odd one out when you say some shit that they don't agree with. Like, everybody feels like this, why can't you just get in board? You know, but that's not the truth.
That's just where the pendulum has swung so far.
Yeah.
And the shit it'll swing back and equal out.
Oh, it's definitely, it's going to swing back harder though.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be get real bad, and then it'll even itself out.
Yeah. I can't wait for it to start getting back to even.
Yeah.
Because
it's starting to do, because people like, it's just getting too much.
Yeah.
To a point where it's just like I said this before, like when Chappelle's special, for instance, which was obviously good. There's nothing you could say that was bad about that. But, but what he said maybe offended your group or whatever group you affiliate with. That doesn't make it bad.
Right.
I talk about black people. I'm black.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just them telling jokes.
Yeah.
Yo, are you Spanish? I meant to always ask you that.
Portuguese.
Word? I was wondering how you got Rodrigues.
Yeah, I got my mom's last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're fully Portuguese?
No.
Half black, half Portuguese?
Black, African like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I always wondered how you got Rodrigues.
Yeah. That's my mom. And
So
Cordova, what are you?
Half Puerto Rican, half black.
Half Puerto Rican about? Okay.
That was Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay.
Like a real Puerto Rican.
Oh, like mira.
Yeah,
Acaba, ven aquí, Jason.
He's a Puerto Rican dude that just loves black women. Every chick, I've only seen him with one chick that wasn't black, ever.
Ven aquí, Jason.
Yeah, he don't got a Spanish accent though. He grew up in New York. He grew up in New York.
Oh, okay.
He's born in Puerto Rico but grew up in New York.
He speaks Spanish though?
Yeah, he never taught me though.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I always said that if I spoke Spanish, I would do comedy in
makes
Spanish.
You mad, huh?
I would do comedy in
do
Spanish.
both.
No, you know how big Latin America is.
You want to learn?
Yeah. But
you ever want to learn it?
I tried on Duolingo and shit and Rosetta Stone, but it's just like, you know, the reason they teach you languages when you're in school, because you got the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have time to learn another language.
Yeah, you're young too. Your brain
absorb shit a little bit better.
I would love to do sign language. I've been looking into
sign language comedy.
Sign language comedy, man. Just bringing some comedy to the deaf community. I've really been looking into that.
For real?
I want to do that. Yeah.
My old second grade teacher was like a master in sign language.
Yeah.
Like she used to do it with gorillas and shit.
Yeah.
Like she was like a really serious sign language.
Jesus.
Like that. Yeah.
She's teaching anybody. She's teaching God damn.
It's all good, man.
But yeah, man. So what you got coming up? This weekend?
I got Bill's Bar on Wednesday. I got Grace Scott on Friday. I think Saturday I got open. I think I'm gonna go fishing.
Yo, I gotta go fishing with you sometime, man. I've been seeing you go fishing a bunch too.
Body, bro. I can't stop buying fishing bait. It's like a little addiction I have.
Yeah, but I've been seeing you fishing a bunch. I'll be like, yo, because at first you don't look like somebody who be going fishing like that. But then I've been seeing you. Yeah, I see you. You know what I mean? With a nice ass sweatshirt or some shit. Yeah. I see you holding a fish. I'm like, you don't like fishing. I feel like you clowning people who fish. You know
I really.
And I'm like, yo, Jason's out there fishing, but yo, I love fishing.
Yeah,
for real.
I watch mad your YouTube feed is shit. I watch so much bass fishing on that. I fish a lot.
And we should go down. We should do. I don't know if the deep sea fishing boat's already stopped. Yo, we should go down.
But you can go to. I went to Hyannis over the weekend. I mean, not over the weekend. You go. We pay $50.
Ocean Street Dock. That's where I usually go.
Poker Table Talk, the podcast we do for GP.